Hi, everyone, and welcome to our Unify the Mobile Workforce with FreePBX and PBXact webinar that we're going to cover today. My name is Ryan Markham, and I am the Director of Open Source Sales at Sangoma. Just want to welcome you all and say thanks for joining us today. A quick background on me. I came over from a recent acquisition of a company called E4 that Sangoma announced in February of this year. E4 was one of Sangoma's largest distributors in North America, and we have been specifically focused on asterisk-based and even more specifically FreePBX and PBXact solutions at E4 really since the beginning. And it's been my primary role to work with resellers, partners, and enterprise users to help them grow their businesses using our open source solutions. And I'm looking forward to doing that in a much larger scale and capacity in my new role with Sangoma. So that's a quick background on me and who I am. The purpose of today's call is we want to make sure that you are aware that Sangoma is here with solutions for you to help you unify your workers in these strange times, right? Kind of unprecedented for everybody, and we're seeing a need for people who are looking for a solution to be able to set their workers up to be able to work remotely from home. And we have a number of different things that we're going to cover today that relate to FreePBX and PBXact to help you with that. So obviously, these are strange times for everybody, and nobody really saw this coming. But on our webinar today, we're going to cover some ways that are going to hopefully help you from both an internal communications as well as external with your customers and vendors, the ability to get your users on FreePBX and PBXact set up to have a unified communications platform from home. So some of the things that we are going to cover today are going to be firstly Zulu, which is our desktop soft phone. We're going to talk about taking your physical desk phone home with you. We're going to cover, if you do take that phone with you back home, how do you create call rules within your PBX to make sure that it's able to reach that server securely? We launched a brand new headset recently that we're going to talk about. And we also have a new HD video conferencing solution that we launched just last week called Sangoma Meat. So we're going to cover that solution as well. At the end, we'll try to get to some Q&A. There is a way for you to submit questions if you have them as we go through the webinar here, and we will try to answer those immediately for you. If we can't, just be aware that we are going to compile a list of all of the questions that are submitted on this webinar, and we'll put together an FAQ sheet that we're going to send out to everybody on this webinar, so that hopefully, if you had a question that somebody else had, perhaps it helps them as well. And I'm also going to talk about some different resources that we have throughout the webinar that can help you from a technical perspective from some of the things that we're going to cover. I will post a slide at the end of the presentation here, which will share those links for you so you can screenshot that. But we're also going to distribute those links out in the email to you as well. So feel free to submit your questions, and we're going to do everything we can to make sure that we get all those answered. What do we want you to know? We talked about strange times. We're trying to figure out a way for you to work remotely under these executive orders. And if you're considered essential business and you need to be able to be set up from home, like us, we want you to know Sangoma is considered essential, and all of our teams are fully operational. Almost all of them working from home right now as well, using our own solutions. And so, everybody's here. We're here for you to make sure that this is something that's an easy transition for you and your teams, and Sangoma, we finished the last quarter very strong. We're doing well as a company, as well as we've ever been. And we're continuing to put out new resources every week to help figure out different solutions for you that make sense for you and your communication systems to help you with setting up remote workers. So you can check out sangoma.com/remote-workers and get some more additional information there. The first thing that we're going to talk about today, the first application that we have to offer to help you get set up to be able to take your extension home with you, is our desktop soft phone, which is called Zulu. So Zulu started out years ago as just a browser and desktop integration tool for click-to-call. It basically allowed for you to click on a number in your browser or your email, and it would originate a call through your hard phone. We have put a ton of development into Zulu over the past 4 or 5 years now, and it's turned into a full unified communications tool. Specifically in this use case, the desktop soft phone allows for your users to have their business extensions set up on their laptops so that they have the ability to make and receive phone calls on their business extension from a computer or a laptop. We have clients that are available for Zulu on Windows, Mac, and Linux. And we also have Android and iOS clients for mobility. But for the most part, if you're talking about, sitting down and spending a full day working at the office and having a phone, it's easier to do that with a desktop soft phone. So we're going to focus on that. As you can see here, you've got a full 10-digit dial pad. I have the ability to punch in from a keyboard a 10-digit number. I can click to dial with my mouse to dial outbound. We can populate your contact list within Zulu, so you can easily utilize the search button, type in a contact name, click on them, and make your calls outbound on your business extension through the Zulu soft phone app. You also get really nice, easy to see screen pops if you're working on your email or working in the spreadsheet, doing a project and a call comes in. You get a nice, easy screen pop of who's calling you with the ability to click and answer and take that call. Zulu has the ability for you to get your voicemail directly on there as well. And I kind of mentioned that we've put a ton of work into making sure that this is more than just a desktop soft phone as well. So let's take a look at what else we get within Zulu here. And I should mention too that Zulu is an application that is completely free with all users on PBXact. We do not charge for it if you're using PBXact. It's $199 for every 20 users on FreePBX, and that is renewed annually. And if you are currently using FreePBX and you're interested in how you can upgrade from FreePBX to PBXact so that you can take advantage of the included Zulu module, as well as a number of other features that we include in the PBXact distro, there's a poll question that we're going to pose at the end of this webinar that is going to ask if you want more information on how to convert your FreePBX into a PBXact. Just make sure you choose that, and we can make sure that we follow up with you and talk with you about options that you have to take a FreePBX deployment and turn it into a PBXact deployment. So full interaction history within Zulu here. So you've got your desktop soft phone, you've got your contact list, and keep in mind everything that we do on Zulu is all permissions based as well. So if, for example, I am recording calls on my PBX and I have permission to listen to those recorded calls, if you're looking at this slide, you can see at 12:16 p.m. I missed a call. At 4:49 p.m., I made a call that lasted about 18 minutes, and you can see a little play button icon there. If I have permission, I can push that play button and listen to recorded call history, playback call recordings directly from within my Zulu client. You'll also notice that there is a chat feature baked into Zulu as well. So you have internal instant messaging and the ability to interact with your team members on a direct message basis. We also have rooms, so you can create persistent chat rooms similar to what you would find in HipChat or Slack. So you can build out public or private rooms for specific projects that you want to invite certain team members to work in or on with you. It also supports file sharing. So you can see here that internally I've shared a file. You can send pictures, GIFs. I can do faxing from directly within Zulu. All of this is, all these features, again, are permissions based. And if you're using our SIP station, SIP trunking platform as well, and you have the SMS capabilities of that turned on, you can even send text messages directly from within your Zulu client. And what I like about it is it's got the full interaction history with a particular contact all within that one window. So all I have to do is scroll up or down through my interaction history with a particular contact, whether it's internal or external, and I'm going to see all of the calls that I've had with that contact. I'm going to be able to play back the calls that I've had with them. I'm going to be able to see any text message or instant message history. I can go back and find files that they've shared with me or I've shared with them. So more than just a desktop soft phone, full interaction history, and completely free and available for all users on PBXact. Really simple way to be able to take your business extension home with you, Zulu. We're going to talk about taking your physical phone home with you next. So some people kind of knew ahead of time, that these executive orders were coming down, and maybe they already took their phone home with them. Maybe you didn't have that capability, but you've got somebody who can, get to an office and send you your phone, or someone can ship you your phone. The beauty of an IP phone system is that for the most part, the phones don't care where the PBX is. So you can take your physical phone home and plug it in on your home network, and it will work exactly the same as if it did while you were on your network in your office. I said mostly because one thing to remember is that the phone does have to somehow still be able to reach the FreePBX or PBXact server. Most corporate networks have been set up with a firewall or a session border controller that is in place to help protect from outside traffic. And in order to connect your IP phone back to your FreePBX or PBXact server, your administrator is going to have to make sure that certain ports are opened up in order for that phone to be able to connect back. And if you're working with any of our Sangoma partners, this is something that they would easily be able to help you out with as well. But in the event that you're not, or you are the system administrator and you're wondering what that is, we've got some specific ports and call rules that you're going to want to have opened up in order for these remote phones to connect back. So as a system administrator, you're going to log into the PBX GUI and navigate over to *SIP settings. Within *SIP settings, you're going to have a couple different options. You're either going to have extensions that are set up as CHAN SIP extensions or PJ SIP extensions within our FreePBX and PBXact servers. If you are using CHAN SIP, you want to make sure that you have port 5060 open. And that under the CHAN SIP settings is going to be referred to as the bind port. If you are using PJ SIP, then you want to make sure port 5160 is open. And it's not called the bind port under PJ SIP extensions. It is called the listen-in port. So you want to make sure that the PJ SIP port is 5160. And we also need a UDP range opened from 10,000 to 20,000. This should be the case by default, but if for some reason it's not, just get with your system administrator. You want to take your remote phones home with you. And we're going to have, again, I'll put some links up at the end for additional resources to make sure that you've got the correct call rules in place for your remote phones. Now, the best, most simplest, and secure way to set up a remote phone is going to be if you're using one of our Sangoma S-Series phones. We have a number of good reasons why you would want to choose Sangoma phones when you're using FreePBX and PBXact. One of the key ones is for remote phones. We have a built-in VPN client in all of our Sangoma S-Series phones. And we have a VPN client within our FreePBX and PBXact servers. Configured through Endpoint Manager, super simple to do. Using the VPN connection will create a secure encrypted tunnel between your endpoint, which is your phone, and your phone system. And this is really just the simplest and most secure way of connecting a remote phone back to the PBX. I want to talk briefly about the Sangoma S705 phone and why this is a great phone to have for your remote users, for your work from home situations. The 705 has two really cool things built into it. It's got Wi-Fi and Bluetooth. I really want to talk about the Wi-Fi. I think that is the key piece here for having a remote work from home physical phone at home. So the reason being is most of us don't have a dedicated office space set up in our homes already. We weren't prepared for this kind of a situation. And having a phone that's got Wi-Fi built into it natively on the motherboard means without buying any other hardware or accessories, you can take this phone home, grab a power adapter and plug it into any outlet in your house where you have access to Wi-Fi, and you're going to be able to make and receive phone calls to your business extension and not have to be, chained to where your router is at by plugging in wired to a router. So if you want to be able to sit at the dining room table and work for a little bit through lunch for a while, and then maybe you want to go and move into the living room and sit on the couch, maybe you want to just work from your bed and have it sit on your nightstand and plug that phone into an outlet by your bed, it gives you the flexibility to be able to work from whichever room that you'd like to work from. Also has Bluetooth built into it, which is great. Having the built-in Bluetooth means that if you already have a Bluetooth headset at home, you're going to be able to use that with the 705 phone as well, so that you have a wireless headset connection to be able to utilize your phone as well. I would recommend, where possible, you utilize a decked headset over a Bluetooth one for a number of reasons. The biggest one would be the range that you get. With a Bluetooth headset, you're only going to be able to walk about 15 or 20 feet away from the phone before you start getting voice quality issues, the calls breaking up on you. Whereas if you're using a decked headset, you're going to be able to go much further away. It's just the nature of Bluetooth. If you've ever been cleaning your house and listening to maybe a speaker that you have connected to your cell phone in your pocket playing music, and you walk 3 rooms over to clean something and then your music goes out, it's just because Bluetooth has a very limited range on it. But a decked headset, however, is going to get you much farther. We just launched our own decked headset about 2 weeks ago now. So the Sangoma H10 wireless headset, now available. This is going to get you about 150-foot radius from the base station from a wireless headset capability. So what's great about that is if you are, in a situation at all like mine where you're trying to figure out how do I, not only work from home and be a good essential worker and an employee, but also I'm trying to figure out how to be a teacher from home with my young kids, and I'm on a really long call, and I need to be able to go into the other room and make sure that my young kids are actually doing some schoolwork and not, watching the TV or playing on the tablet. The other day I went all the way to the mailbox with this headset on while I was on a call without experiencing any kind of voice quality issues. So it gives you that flexibility to be able to work from home and freely move about the house as well. If you're using our S-Series phones and you have an EHS adapter, it will allow for you to answer and hang up calls directly from the button on the headset. So you don't have to be in front of your handset and press a headset button and then can walk away to be able to to talk on it, you can just answer and hang up directly from the headset itself. We also have noise canceling technologies built into this, as well as the ability to mute the headset and volume controls placed directly on here. One other great thing about our headset is that it is priced extremely aggressively if you're going to look at what we're charging for this headset versus what you would pay for other DECT headsets in the market. So great value, great way to make sure you're working from home and able to do a number of different things throughout your house while you're working. The last thing that we're going to introduce today is a brand new product. We just launched it last week. It is called Sangoma Meet, and Sangoma Meet is it's an HD video conferencing solution. It's browser-based video conferencing that is available completely free of charge to you. We want to make sure that you have the ability, not just from a business perspective, but in these tough times, we want you to know Sangoma is here for you. This is a tool that you can use that we developed that not only can help you with your business communications, but maybe it also helps you have dinner with your mom or your grandmother that you haven't been able to see in a while. We want you to use it however it makes sense for you and however it helps you. And we'd love to hear some success stories about this product as well. So video conferencing and collaboration tool, completely free, and it works with up to 50 participants. So all you have to do is navigate over to meet.sangoma.com, and from there you're going to have some options. You're going to be able to start a meeting, you can join an existing meeting, or you can schedule a future meeting. All of our meetings on Sangoma Meet are fully encrypted to make sure that your conversations are private. I mentioned before that it's browser-based, so it's going to work with any Chromium-based browsers, meaning it's going to work with the big ones like Chrome or Firefox. It's not going to work with Safari. And we do have mobile clients for Sangoma Meet as well. You'll actually find a mobile client available in the Google Play Store if you're an Android user. That's available to you right now. We have an iOS client that is going to be out any day now. We're essentially waiting on Apple for that. So mobile clients are here as well, browser-based, and that's going to be for Android and iOS. So here's a quick look at what you see within Meet.Sangoma. So I mentioned you can have up to 50 participants. We've done a lot to make this application our own, so we've kind of put some unique things in there. As far as toggling the views go, you have the ability to let Sangoma Meet push the speaker to the front of your view, so you can have it rotate whoever is speaking, and it'll automatically display that person in their video feed. You can populate an entire tile view out there and look at all participants at once, or you can just simply choose to stare at one person throughout the entire call if you want to. Screen sharing is built into this, so the moderator has the ability to very easily share their screen with all these participants in here. We have a chat window capability baked in, so you can send messages across the board and even share files across the board while you're on a Sangoma Meet call. Participants can raise their hands. The moderator has the ability to grant those rights for other people. They can mute the conference, lock the conference, pass a screen share presenter role. And we've got some cool things. One of the things that I like, not sure why, but I think it's kind of neat. You can view speaker stats. So you can look and see real time who's done the majority of the speaking and the contributions to the conversation as well. And we have a full suite of shortcuts, keyboard shortcuts baked in to be able to do some slick stuff with Sangoma Meet. So as I mentioned, this is completely free. It's brand new. We want your feedback on it. It's meet.sangoma.com. And we have information in our wiki about a roadmap for additional features that are going to be coming into this application. And I would love to hear feedback and success stories on how you've been using Sangoma Meet. So working from home with FreePBX and PBXact, we've got a number of different ways that we can help you be successful with that. We've got the Zulu soft phone, which is completely free with all PBXact seats, and it's way more than just a soft phone. You can take your physical desk phone home with you. If you're looking for a new phone, or if you want one for working from home, the best possible one, the S705 has that built-in Wi-Fi and Bluetooth. We have a brand new decked wireless headset available for you. And now Sangoma Meet HD video conferencing solution, totally free for you. Q&A, there's been some questions that have been coming in throughout this webinar. We're trying to answer those in real time. I mentioned we are going to compile a full list of all of the questions that were asked from everybody across the board today, and we'll put together kind of a nice FAQ sheet as well, and we'll make sure to distribute that to all the participants on the webinar today. So we want to get your questions answered, and we will do that. I mentioned that I would put some resources up for you, and I mentioned as well that we are going to send these out as well in a recap. But feel free to screenshot this right now if you're in a hurry and you want to make sure you're going to go configure a phone on a VPN right now. There's the link to our wiki for how to do that. One thing that I haven't talked about quite yet, and did want to mention, that link at the very bottom there is a link to our FreePBX community forums, and that's an excellent resource if you saw something on here today and you run into a snag, or you're having any kind of technical issues with configuring that VPN or where those ports are at in the GUI again. The community forum is an excellent source. We've got some of the smartest developers in the world who work on this project that are constantly monitoring those forums and providing free support to people on there, as well as other community users who may benefit from your questions that you have as well. So please take full advantage of the community forums for anything like that's a great resource to go to if something's not clear in the wiki, or you're following the wiki but you're still running into an issue. That's a great first place to check and potentially get yourself some free support as well. So we will distribute some of those links out in an email for you. And with that, I want to say thank you very much for joining me today on the Work from Home Solutions webinar for FreePBX and PBXact. Want to wish everybody that hopefully you are and your families are all healthy and happy and safe, and we appreciate you joining us today. So thank you.